right, all right. All right, it's good to be here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. That is where we are, right? No? That's why everybody left. Everybody's in San Juan, aren't they? So I'll get to that. I'll get to what we're going to talk about. But I'm Steve Beauregard, and wait, I forgot to do this. Free gift to the crowd. Nice Mo glasses, good catch. So starting off with, I'm not a financial advisor, right? That's the big disclaimer you have to get to. So what qualifies me to talk about strategies for building wealth generation and or generational wealth? And absolutely nothing is the answer. I'm not qualified whatsoever. I just happen to be lucky. And let's move on. A couple of fun facts. Millennial millionaires, okay? Of the millennial millionaires, 47% have 25% of their wealth tied up in crypto. Think about that number. It's pretty impressive, right? 50% own NFTs. And of all of these folks, the millennial millionaires, 83% have crypto in their portfolios. So it's really, if you think about 5 years ago, how far we've come, that's really amazing. So what I'm talking about here is a little bit off topic for a crypto show, you would think. However, there's a lot of lucky bastards in this crowd who have just invested at the right time. And then they look at their portfolio and go, well, now what? What do I do now? Well, I've been blessed with choosing a wife who has a father who is a really good strategist. He was a founding member of a number of the Capital Group funds. And so I had access to really great wealth advisors, tax accountants, and so forth. So I'm just here to pass on some of this knowledge. So I'm going to talk next about something that's very near and dear to my heart. Now, you might be thinking that tax avoidance is illegal. It's 100% legal. Tax evasion, on the other hand, you go to jail for. But tax avoidance is just good wealth-building strategy. And some of the most famous people do it. Jeff Bezos is an expert. Elon Musk, an expert. They hate to pay their taxes, but they do. They pay as little as they can. And so some of these other corporations have famously been accused of not paying their fair share. Well, what's your fair share? It's what you owe, right? And if you can legally do it in a way that you don't have to give money to the government, as Elon Musk famously said, the government is a really, really poor steward of capital. And we know that. So why not have the money in the hands of the companies that can reinvest and employ people? So here's some like rubber meets the road, some of the tax avoidance strategies that you can implement quite easily. Number one is move to a tax-friendly jurisdiction. Thus my opening joke about Puerto Rico. Last night I went to a dinner and it was staggering. It was a bunch of the OGs in the community. It was staggering to me how many of my friends have moved to Puerto Rico. Los Angeles used to be this big, strong hub of talent, of tech talent, and almost every one of the crypto folks has left for either Puerto Rico, Texas, Florida, or other tax-friendly jurisdictions. So the reason Puerto Rico is there's some benefits to avoid your income tax to the federal government, IRS. Other states like Texas, Nevada, Florida, there's a couple of others, there's no state income tax. So as you liquidate your crypto, you don't have to pay a lot of money to the government. Another strategy is to keep really good records of the crypto that you've purchased and keeping it in buckets. So you know what crypto was bought at what level. So there's a tax accounting method called LIFO, which means think of it as a stack. So as you buy coins and they stack up, if you need to sell some, you pop it off the top. So the highest cost basis is what you would be selling versus the ones on the bottom that probably you bought for a couple $100 if you're lucky. Right, so that's another principle that you can implement to lower your income tax. Another one is to make donations. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of rushing through this because they asked me to jam 15 minutes into 10. So, is to donate your tax. But in this case, you want to donate your lowest cost basis crypto. So if you were lucky enough to buy some crypto down at $100, that's what you want to donate because when you give it to the charity, there's no income tax to you, the donor. You can also gift. There's a good family gifting strategy where you can gift to family members. You can actually gift to anybody. You can gift to me. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to get up here, and I take Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin even. I'll take it. Anyway, but gifting to family members is a great way to pass that money down to new generations. Now, the other thing is a lot of people make the mistake, which I did back in 2017 when I bought the most expensive house because I sold a bunch of crypto at $900. I should have borrowed against my crypto instead of sold it. So I sold it, I paid tax on it, and then it went crazy. Had I implemented this strategy and just held onto that crypto and borrowed against it as collateral, we're starting to see some businesses that will do that for you. So don't liquidate, hold it, and borrow. So by donating your lowest cost basis crypto, you actually get about a 30 to 40% tax decrease on your federal taxes, and that can actually be carried forward a number of years. And don't just get stuck in one asset class. I always say don't have none of anything. So example, you should have some real estate, you should have some mutual funds, you definitely should have some crypto, but a lot of people just sort of are one-trick ponies. They only believe in mutual funds or they only believe in properties, but I like to diversify. And I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. Shitcoin avoidance. It's a zero-sum game, and I can't tell you the number of people that call me, should I buy Dogecoin? Should I buy Dogecoin? I'm like, it's just Bitcoin. It's a stupid joke on Bitcoin, and there's no developers developing for it. Can you make money? Yes, but you better be on top of it, because when you get wrecked, I don't want to get the phone call saying, I got wrecked on Dogecoin. Of course you did. All right, so this is when you really start thinking about passing that money down to the next generation. And these are where it gets a little bit technical, and this is the stuff you should talk with your tax accountants about, tax lawyers, because they can really help you. You get a lifetime gifting, one-time gifting, or it's not one-time gifting, but you can give up to, it's $12.6 million in your lifetime. It's a lifetime gifting that you can send down to the next generation, absolutely tax-free. Now that's per person, so if you're married, that means that your spouse can also donate up to that amount. So it's a great way to give money down to the next generation, not that they deserve it. Saving for their college fund, right? 529 is a good way to put money away and let them build up tax-free money inside of a fund that you use when the kids are ready to go to college. Now college is becoming less and less important these days because they're colleges, they're huge endowments, and I won't get into the politics of that, but I think most people make a big mistake going to college. But if you want to set them up so they can have fun for free for 4 years, a 529 is a really good way to do it. This is a trust that you can set up. It's called an IDGIT, and it stands for Intentionally Defective Grantor Trust. And that sounds like a bunch of legal mumbo-jumbo, which it is. And this is a trust that you can set up, usually for your kids, where the money that is earned inside of there continues to get reinvested. So there's dividends you're earning, there's capital gains, and all the taxes on that get paid by the person that granted, not the person who's received it. So as a child, when that trust, they need money from that trust, everything they get is cash-free, tax-free, right to them. Now the grantor gets taxed, so that's kind of a burden, but it's better for generational wealth building because now all of that money still grows and grows for the benefit of the next generation. Another strategy is to get a life insurance, irrevocable life insurance trust called an ILIT. And this is something you usually front load, and you fill this up making the payments, really large payments up front. But in the end, when the person that set that trust up passes, all of that money goes tax-free to the beneficiary. And then a generation skipping methodology is to set up a dynasty trust where this, the idea here is that you've already done your lifetime gifting, but you want to be able to put money away for future generations. And you can set these dynasty trusts up with pretty much any tax attorney. Now, it's also important where you set these trusts up because the state in which you do it, if you have nexus in that state, they could be subject to tax. And there's also this annual gifting that you can do up to $15,000 per person per year, which is a nice way to fund things like that 529 and the others. Running low on time, I'm going to cut to my favorite part, which is charitable giving. And this is something very, very few people implement, but there's 3 different types of charitable giving you can do. One's called a donor-advised fund. Now, I did this year with crypto. I donated a bunch of my low-cost basis crypto to a charity, and then that charity puts it into a mutual fund. And that mutual fund continues to grow until I'm ready to give. And when let's say I want to give to the American Cancer Society. So if I make a donation, I just make a recommendation. And then it's out of my hands. It's completely irrevocable. I've given it. I get the tax deduction now, but when that money's given, it's like free money to me. I have a whole pot of money that I can give to whatever charity I want, anytime I want. as long as they're approved by the fund. So it's called a DAF, D-A-F, or donor advised fund. Look into those, they're very valuable. Two more really cool ones are a charitable remainder trust. And this is where you earmark money to be donated to a specific charity when you die. However, it kicks off income to you. So you put the money away, you get the tax write-off, and then you get an income stream that comes back to you until you die. And when you die, a lot of people use this for like, okay, I want to have a building at my university named after me. Okay, say to the university, here's what I'm going to do. At the end of my life, money's going to go to the college, and I want this to happen. But in the meantime, I'm going to get revenue out of it. The opposite of that is the charitable lead annuity trust, which is the opposite. The money that gets kicked off goes to the charity of your choice, but at the end of your life, that money goes then to like a future generation, or that principal goes back to your family. So that's all I had. I think I did it. I'm out of time. Thank you very much. Steve Beauregard.